The crew of the joint British and American Space Shuttle Churchill, under the command of Colonel Tom Carlson, finds a 150-mile-long, 240 kilometers, spaceship hidden in the coma of Halley's Comet. Inside, the crew discovers hundreds of desiccated bat-like creatures and 3 naked humanoid bodies, 2 male and 1 female, in suspended animation within glass containers. The crew recovers a bat alien and the 3 bodies and begins the return trip to Earth. However, during the return journey, Mission Control loses contact with Churchill. A rescue mission is launched to investigate. The rescuers discover that Churchill has been gutted by fire. The present crew are dead, and the escape pod is missing. Yet the 3 containers bearing the bodies remain intact. The bodies are taken to the European Space Research Centre in London. Prior to an autopsy, the female alien awakens and drains the life force out of a guard. She then escapes the facility and proceeds to drain other humans of their life force, revealing an ability to shapeshift. The guard revives after 2 hours and also displays the ability to drain others of their life force. Soon thereafter, the 2 male vampires awaken and attempt a violent escape. But they are apparently destroyed by grenades thrown by the guards. Meanwhile, in Texas, an escape pod from Churchill is found with Carlson inside. Carlson is flown to London, where he describes the course of events, culminating in the draining of the Churchill crew's life force. Carlson explains that he set fire to the shuttle with the intention of saving Earth from the same fate and escaped in the pod. However, when he is hypnotized, it becomes clear that Carlson possesses a psychic link to the female alien. Carlson admits to Kane that, while on Churchill, he felt compelled to open the female vampire's container and share his life force with her. Carlson and SAS Colonel Colin Kane trace her to a psychiatric hospital in Yorkshire. The 2 believe they have managed to trap her within the heavily sedated body of the hospital's manager, Dr. Armstrong. Carlson and Kane later learn they were deceived, as the aliens had wanted to draw them out of London. The 2 male vampires have survived by shapeshifting into the soldiers who killed their previous bodies. And now the pair are infecting most of London's population. As Carlson and Kane are transporting Dr. Armstrong back to London, the female alien escapes from her sedated host and disappears. Martial law is declared as the vampire plague sweeps through the city, the victims seeking out other humans to absorb their life force and perpetuate the cycle. The absorbed life forces are channeled by the male vampires to the female vampire, who transmits the accumulated energy to their spaceship, which is now in geosynchronous orbit over London. Drive. Falada impales one of the male vampires with an ancient weapon of leaded iron. He contacts Carlson and Kane and surmises that the creatures have visited Earth periodically with the coming of Halley's Comet, creating the vampire legends. He delivers the weapon to Kane before succumbing to the infection. The female vampire is tracked by Carlson to St. Paul's Cathedral, where she is lying upon the altar, transferring energy to her spaceship. She reveals, much to Carlson's shock, that they are a part of each other due to the sharing of their life forces, thus sharing their psychic bond. Kane follows Carlson to the cathedral and is intercepted by the second male vampire, whom he kills. Kane throws the weapon to Carlson, who impales himself and the female alien simultaneously. This action causes the release of a burst of energy that blows open the dome of St. Paul's. The two ascend the column of energy to the spaceship, which then returns to the comet as Kane watches.